Welcome. Thanks for tuning in to CNN News 18. I'm Kritsween Valia. Lots of news and updates trickling in this morning at 10 a.m. Let's quickly give you a lowdown in the top headlines we're tracking. Opposition leaders fuel democracy by questioning Delhi demolitions despite High Court confirming due process and no haste. Delhi demolition drive. Video footage accessed, body cam footage shows police deployment restricted only to encroached area marked by the High Court for demolition around the mosque at Turkman Gate in Delhi, and how it did not enter the mosque contrary to what the opposition is claiming. After Kabar Khudegi protests at JNU, Delhi police registers FIR over derogatory remarks. Post the video went viral. Actor Vijay's last film, Jana Nayagan, release date has been postponed due to unforeseen circumstances, even as High Court reserves the order on the film. With repeated attacks on minorities, Hindus continue to live in fear in Dhaka. CNN News 18 brings to you stories of sufferings. Despite Chief Minister Fadnavis's strong objections, the Ambernath Alliance holds firm as Thane collector recognizes the BJP Congress group as the largest faction. Prime Minister Modi hails Reform Express as India's GDP is projected to grow at 7.4% in financial year 26. Adds that this is powered by the NDA government's comprehensive investment push and demand-led policies. President Donald Trump backs Russia sanctions bill proposing 500% tariff targets India, China and Brazil over oil purchases from Russia. President Trump says Venezuela will purchase only American products with oil deal revenue as US seizes 2 tankers. But first, we start with the major setback for Vijay starrer Jana Nayagan. The production, in its statement, announced the postponement of the movie's release. The court said orders will most likely be pronounced on the 9th of January, the morning of 9th, even as shows across several theatres had already been booked. In the meanwhile, Congress MP Manikam Tagore has come out in support of actor Vijay. He's claimed the censor board is being used to control cinema and ideas. In fact, as alleged, BJP RSS propaganda films promoted, dissenting voices targeted. He also says cinema needs constitutional protection, not political clearance. So that's the reaction that's coming from the Congress leader. I do want to go across to Purnima Murli, who joins us with more details. Congress leaders, at least some of them, backing actor Vijay in what essentially is the controversy revolving around the film. The makers have announced a postponement. Theatres were booked already. Purnima, politically speaking, how is this playing out overall?
Well, politically, certain leaders of the Congress have now come out in support of Vijay. Remember, there's always been speculation about a possible TVK Congress alliance for the 2026 elections. We've seen infighting within the Congress where a section of the Congress leaders from Tamil Nadu feel that going with the TVK would help them get more seats, and if voted to power can also help in the sharing of power, which they feel may not happen with the DMK. So while the infighting only escalates in the run-up to the 2026 elections, certain leaders of the Congress now openly backing Vijay and allegedly linking the movie not getting a census certificate and linking that to the reported BJP's hand on that clearly will now escalate. So far, the DMK has not responded to the ongoing controversy, but Congress continues to reiterate that this is not the right way to do, and they reportedly link this to the BJP. So we'll now have to wait and see how the BJP, the DMK respond to this. But as you rightly said, there have been pre-bookings done because this is also Vijay's last movie. So emotions running high as far as Tamil Nadu fans are concerned. Vijay as a star, a movie star, has lakhs of followers, and therefore many of them were excited to watch it the first day. However, now that the makers have announced that it's been postponed and the new date will be known shortly, many of them were promised refunds on the ticket booking, but many of them disappointed because this is the Pongal season next week. There's Pongal festival, so they were planning to watch it, and now they are disappointed. However, politics will continue to escalate. alliances in terms of who will align with the BJP, who will align with the TVK. That also will be the point of discussion for the next 1 week.
So politics transitioning into cinema, or in a way merging with cinema here, given this is a crucial election year in the state. Having said that, let me quickly go across to filmmaker Ashok Pandit, who joins us on the broadcast. Good morning, Mr. Pandit. Your thoughts here, because there is a clear lack of certificate issuance by the CBFC that's being criticized by some. Politically speaking, a backing coming in from the Congress for the actor. The production house itself has announced the postponement. What do you think is going on here?
You see, first of all, as far as criticizing the CBFC and saying that politics has entered into cinema. Well, I very strongly feel that anybody from the Congress has no right to issue this statement, because politics had entered cinema when the emergency was clamped. So, freedom of expression and all those kind of jargons, I don't think Congress has a right to even talk about it. The inner story, whether the film has been postponed by the producers themselves or by the CBFC, is yet to be known. But the point is that the kind of films which are doing very well, the kind of films, the nationalistic films, the way the films are doing very successfully at the box office also, it has created the destruction of the ecosystem which used to always, tarnish these kind of films. The films which spoke about wrongs happening in the country, the films which spoke about enemies of the country, whether they are outside the country or within the country. So important subjects, important topics which normally nobody had the guts to make in earlier times have started coming in by the producers, by the directors, and the films are doing very well. So the entire ecosystem of the Congress, the left liberals, the urban naxos, the triple gang, entire, the JNU gang, all these people had created an ecosystem against such cinema. So now they are very uncomfortable, they are using this kind of statements and trying to defame the films which are really doing very well and made by great filmmakers.
So first question to you, Mr. Ashok Pandit, have we or can we certainly narrow it down to the lack of a CBFC nod here? One, you've come in on it briefly, but if you could expand on that. And two, the allegation coming in politically is that none of the films which in a way project the BJP RSS ideology are devoid of that nod. So why is it happening in this particular film?
No, first of all, if the CBFC is not clearing the film, which legally they should do, then I really condemn that also as a filmmaker, as a film producer. Delaying a film just for the heck of it is not right. The delay of the film or the asking of the cuts or whatever is as per the law of the land, the Cinematographic Act. So even if I want the film to be delayed, or if I want the cuts to be given, is as per the law of the Cinematographic Act of 1952. So I have no choice, or it's not up to me to reject the film or delay the film. The producer then go to the revising committee also. So there are a lot of powers we have as producers. If purposely it's being done by the board, then I really will not appreciate that. But coming to the other question which you asked, that politically, whether it's RSS or BJP or right-wing films which have been given a special this thing, I think, how can you call such films, as far as BJP ideology concerned or RSS ideology concerned? Pakistan attacked India has nothing to do with BJP ideology and RSS ideology.
Do you think the problem here could be, and again in the realm of speculation, Mr. Pandit, that here's a political figure and this is election year in the state, and that comes with a lot of careful calculations that perhaps have to be made. Do you think that could be a bone of contention here?
No, I don't see. CBFC board cannot delay the film just for the heck of it, because it functions under law, a system. Laws and regulations. There is a proper act under which the board members have to work, or the jury has to give their judgments, or the cuts which have been asked of the film. So if your film has certain problems, as per the law, the film will naturally get delayed. But having said that, if there is certain malfunctioning, if there is something, some agenda behind it, I think that should not happen.
Okay.
That is also not right. The film should be cleared as per the laws of the
Okay, let's see. The High Court
and
verdict
there
is
should be-
due for the 9th of January. That could perhaps answer some of these questions. Thank you, Mr. Pandit, for
Yeah.
joining us on CNN News 18. I do want to go across to Purnima Mulli. On that note, Purnima, give us a background to the story. The controversy when it first began, the several hurdles the film has seen in also getting the censor certificate from the CBFC, and the Madras High Court's interference more than anything else, because the High Court has reserved its order. The verdict is likely to come in on the 9th. So till then, can we expect no forward development here?
Well, there's no forward development, but on the 19th of December 2025, the censor board reviewed the film. They got back to the team and asked them to make around 30 cuts. This was around the 21st of December. The cuts were made. It was submitted back to the censor board. Since then, they didn't hear. And from Monday onwards, they were, mulling options. We were talking about how they are yet to get this censor certificate, and they have no choice but to move the Madras High Court. And on Tuesday, they went for an urgent hearing. When the case was heard, the censor board in fact said that they received a complaint copy linking the movie to certain dialogues which could hurt religious sentiments, and the judge had in fact asked them to produce the complaint copy before it on Wednesday, and yesterday the case was once again heard. The censor board in fact said that this movie needs to be reviewed again. When the justice had orally asked why wasn't it conveyed to the makers, because they planned to release it on the 9th of Jan. After hearing both sides, they reserved the orders. The orders were expected today, because even if the order was out today, they could have explored releasing it tomorrow. But late last evening, the order was not listed for today, which is why late last night around 10:20 p.m. the makers issued a statement that it is delayed. 9th, which is tomorrow, is when the order is expected. We'll have to wait and see whether it happens tomorrow. And if the verdict goes against the makers, then they will have to go for an appeal, which is why they said the movie is postponed and the date of the release will be conveyed shortly. They are also waiting for the court developments for them to get an understanding of when the movie could be released. It all depends on the verdict.
Okay. So let's see what unfolds for the producers of the film tomorrow. Thank you so much, Purnima, for joining us with that update. Shifting our focus to more news coming in, actor Divya Spandana slammed the Supreme Court remark on stray dogs, and this has drawn a sharp parallel with men and dogs. This after the Supreme Court observed that a dog's mind cannot be read. Divya's street dog analogy has sparked a huge debate, and she says we can't read a man's mind too. Does that mean we should put all men behind the bars? So that's the controversial comment that's come in after the Supreme Court's observations yesterday. Supreme Court red flagging the rising stray dog menace. I do want to go across to Afreen, who joins us with more details. Afreen, the actors drawn a sharp parallel between dogs and men. Give us more context to that statement, and why particularly is she so irked by the observations made by the Supreme Court?
Well, absolutely. A comment which was essentially meant to defend street dogs has now drawn quite a lot of backlash. After this debate started, after Divya Spandana, who's also popularly known as Ramya, has put an Instagram story questioning if all men should also be put in jail, because you can't predict what goes on in the minds of people. They might end up committing crimes like rape or murder. Now, this comment came in trying to draw a parallel with the Supreme Court's recent observation that we don't know which dogs might bite and which ones won't. So she tried to draw a parallel and tried to defend street dogs, but this statement of hers has drawn quite a lot of backlash on social media. While some users defended her right to speak her mind, some others said that her statement was provocative, insulting to all men, and also very insensitive to draw a parallel between men and street dogs. We remember Divya Spandana has been a very vocal activist about protecting street dogs and humane treatment to street dogs. Now her statement comes amidst all of this, but it has drawn quite a lot of backlash for her analogy trying to compare men and street dogs.
A sharp debate has already been shaping up between the centre, the animal rights advocate, and Divya Spandana's love for animals is something that we've seen the last few months, that we've seen this debate come to public domain, especially how the Supreme Court has revisited every now and then what needs to be done about this stray dog menace. Afreen, speaking of the backlash she's now facing after having drawn this analogy, we'll try and understand what this means if she's planning to take this up forward. But for now, she sparked this one comment and it has triggered a huge debate on social media as well. For now, shifting our focus to more news coming in. The Jiram Ghati attack was a brutal massacre that took place on the 25th of May 2013 in Chhattisgarh's Bastar district, where Naxals ambushed a Congress convoy, killing 28 people, including top leaders like Mahendra Karma and Vidya Charan Shukla. Recently, 19 accused, including Kabir, surrendered in front of security forces, once again marking a major milestone in anti-red terror operations. According to Surinder, also known as Kabir, a top Naxalite who surrendered in 2025. The original target was a police convoy. However, 2 days before the attack, the Politburo changed the plan, deciding to attack the Pad Yatra and abduct Mahendra Karma, conduct a kangaroo court inside the village and kill him there. Nearly 300 armed cadres were mobilized across the zone with heavy firing positions set up across the surrounding hills. However, things went wrong when security forces reached the spot earlier than expected, which caused the Maoists to panic. Mahendra Karma and other Congress leaders were killed on the spot, while Kawasi Lakhma escaped, allegedly due to an internal network. This goes all the way back